Yeah, right. And so, yeah, is that a good front office or a bad front office? Because if O'Neill Cruz thrives out there next year, all of a sudden they're a great front office.
Yeah. That's the problem with results based thinking. That's why I got into projections and like betting and stuff because like,
Yeah.
okay, here's how I evaluate these teams based upon what I project, and then that
Mm,
way it's not necessarily retroactive thinking. It gives me the ability to say, here's what I thought, they exceeded it, they didn't, they hit it, and that way I can say this is how I can evaluate them pre-action and pre-action, which is important, right? Because that way you're
yeah.
not getting the advantage that not even the front offices are going to have. You're making your own projections and you're acting like your own
Mm,
front office at that point.
yeah. Yeah. It's and by the way, I'm looking at Brian Reynolds, and he doesn't even have 6 years of service time yet, right? But he does seem like he might have fallen off a bit of a cliff. We'll have to see how this year goes. Plenty of time to recover that, but he's going from a mid all-star kind of player to right now, below replacement value. If you go on WAR, and again, look, it's early, it's Pittsburgh, give him a time, but that it's crazy how quickly we can give up on a guy who's just not that old. He's just not that old, and maybe he's going to be fine. It's the baby, but 4 years ago he had a 6 WAR, and that's fantastic. That's a guy you do worry about losing, and then he didn't do it again. It's
And
baseball's hard, man. Baseball's hard.
baseball is very hard. It is a game that, unless you're a pitcher, it is designed to fail. If you fail half the time in baseball and you're a hitter, you're without question the best ever.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing is all the teams are competing with you. So if Freeman and Olson are the two premier first basemen, you got I think Rizzo was a free agent that year, or maybe it was I don't know. Anyhow, they had a number of guys who weren't elite like Olson and Freeman. You're competing with every team that needs a first baseman. I wouldn't mind taking a shot at those guys. And so you can say, well, you should have signed Otani. Oh, okay, great. We flew him in, we pitched him, we gave him a lot of money, and he picked somebody else. We tend to not allow the other team to be good at what they're doing. It's always like, oh, Kershaw choked. Like, and also the Diamondbacks were great, and he had no shoulder left. Did he choke, or were the Diamondbacks a great team? Were the Astros a great team? These are good teams, and we tend to lose sight of how impossibly great all of the, even the Pirates are. Like the Pirates are
Yeah.
going to win. I don't know, 60 games, something like that. That's not bad. They might even make it to 500, and here we are talking shit about
Yeah, no, exactly. They're a team that I
them.
projected prior to the year around like 75 wins, if my memory serves.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? So that's why we'll almost never use the word choke because like when we're talking about these playoff
Mm,
teams, like we're talking not only the best of the best to get the majors, but we're talking about elite run organizations that are usually deep in not on how they
right.
develop on the mound, but usually in the lineup too. Eventually, when you face hard teams, you're invoking more randomness because the teams are
Mm,
so similarly matched. So if we start ascribing narratives to them, I think we're kind of missing really the big picture of really development and what makes the opposing team great. Because I would say, why not celebrate greatness, right? Like,
yeah.
assuming there's nothing that's really an all-time blunder, like you look at Fred Merkel or something like that, that is
Right.
unrelated to the greatness, right? If it's not like a one moment thing, but to
Right.
say sustained matters are choking misses, I think, really what the other side has done. And
Yeah.
consistently, that's
Yeah.
been the case with them baseball. It's not football. It's not basketball where consistently the top guys come out on top because of the power and the influence that a star will have. I'm not sure what they're expecting, and maybe that's part of the problem with. I love
Mm,
football. Don't get me wrong, but maybe that's
yeah.
part of the problem with football becoming such a common sport that